Hey, okay, we're going to do two-step equations, but this time we're going to include some distribution in it. Not complicated. I mean, we know what distribution is. I went through and kind of talked about that. We're going to talk about it again today. But this should be pretty straightforward, and we're just going to take one extra step before we start doing that two-step solution. So when we're doing this, probably the first thing we're going to do is not probably, oh my God, dead purple. Poor dead purple. It lives no more. That looked blue when I held it up there. So let's use red. The first thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to distribute. All right, and that is to take that quantity and move it across the entire thing in the parentheses there. And the next part is we're just going to look to see, are there like terms? And if there are like terms, we're going to combine those terms before we go forward with solving that equation. So let's do some examples, and I think you're going to pick this up pretty quickly. So let me erase this. That's my erasing music right there. And we're going to do the first one sort of in an inverted way. We're going to say 18 equals 3 times x plus 2. Now the only thing I did was I just reversed which side these were on. So we've got our algebraic expression on this side. We've got a constant on that side. Let's not forget that equal sign. The equal sign, what it means is literally equals. That this side is equal to that side. By law, by mathematical law, these two sides are equal. What that sign does not mean, it does not mean answer. Okay? It does not mean that's the solution. The answer to this problem is not 18. The answer to this problem is whatever x is. So the first thing we'll do is we'll distribute, and that means we're going to have 3 times x and 3 times 2. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 18 equals 3x plus 6. Now in the past, probably picked a lot of like drawing of the arrows and stuff. The key to this is just making sure that you're doing both terms, right? There's two things that have to happen there. So then we're checking, are there any like terms? No like terms. And now we're just going through our solution process for two-step equations. Equals 3x, divide by 3, we take care of that. And we get 4 equals x, which is perfectly fine. Then when we go back to check it, it looks like, let's see where I've got room. I've got room over here. When we go back to check it, I've got 18 equals 3 times, yeah, I'm good, 4 plus 2. Now this one's a little bit simpler because we get to do what's inside the parentheses first. We couldn't do that here because these are unlike here. Unlike. Yoink. But now, yoink. Now they're like terms, which gives us 18 equals 3 times 6. 18 equals 18. And that checks. Okay, distribution's not that difficult. Where people sometimes get tripped up, though, is that sometimes that distribution is happening with a sign. And that sign is super important. So let's do -5 times the quantity, x plus 2, and that equals 40. Now, we are distributing -5, not just 5. So -5 times positive x gives me -5x. -5 times positive 2 is -10. And I'm just going to write that as -10. You could write plus -10. That's fine. But the more signs you put in there that you don't need, the easier it'll be for you to get confused. And that equals 40. And now some of you are looking at that and going, I can't see it because there's a glare. Trust me, it says -10. And some of you are looking at it like, I can do this in my head now. Because as we go through our protocol here, we're going to get rid of the constant first. -10 and positive 10. This becomes a big old 0. Leaving us -5x equals 40 plus 10 is 50. Now we're dividing by -5. I can't stress this enough. Writing that sign matters. -5 divided by -5 leaves us 1x. And then a positive divided by a negative, opposite signs in multiplication division, gives us a negative answer. And now we go to the check. The check will be really pretty easy. So let me write here, -5 times something plus 2 equals 40. Can we see that? Just barely. All right, so I'm going to put my cloud around this. I'm going to float my cloud up to that, put it there, switch this over to a -10. Then I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to say -5 equals, I'm going to combine the two terms that are in there. -8 equals 40. -5 times -8, 5 times 8 is 40. Same sign, positive answer. 40 equals 40. Check or doodle. That's the whole extent of it. I'm going to show you one more, a very simple one, and then you can go do the exit slip, and then on to the homework, the practice really, the thing that's going to make you remember how to do this. 36 equals negative x plus, nope, not plus, boink, x minus 9. Nah, hold on. 36 equals negative x minus 9. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see it. That's outside the glare. So what's important to see here is that, Mr. Romanovich, there's no number here. Ah, Mr. Romanovich, there's no number here. Now you can kind of see that. There is a number. There's a number in front of everything. We just don't necessarily write all the time. It's the number 1. So there's a 1 there, an unwritten 1, because 1 times anything is itself. But in this case, it isn't a positive 1. It's a negative 1. So we're just multiplying everything by -1, which means we're going to have 36. Not going to touch this side. This side, nothing's going on. -1 times x is -1x. -1 times -9, positive 9. And then we do our math. All right, we're going to subtract 9, subtract 9. We're going to get -1x equals 27. Now what? No, don't worry about it. We need this to be positive. We don't want the opposite of x. So we're just going to divide by -1. -1 divided by -1 is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Now over here I've got -20. I've got 27. I said the answer. I got 27 divided by -1, which would be -27 equals x. We go back to the checking machine. Let's go to the checking machine. 36 equals the negative version of -27 minus 9. We'll do inside there first. 36 equals the negative of -36. The opposite of 36 is 36. And that checks. You're off to do your exit slip. And then start your practice. Start solidifying your understanding of this. Good luck.